of the channel. You heard?
And what is that?
Inmate Frustrations.
Oh, so is that is that a place that you can bring your complaints to? Like an advocate for you?
This is what the channel is called.
Oh, that's what you say. Oh, so you're saying you want to call the YouTube channel Inmate Frustration? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hold
no.
on. Stay right here, man. Hold on. Stay right here, because I'm doing this on the other side of the dome. Let me go to the Brook. You know, read the Brook. Yo, this shit's whack over here. This shit's terrible, bro.
No, I can really see that with everything that's going on.
Kevin.
Yeah, Theo.
I ain't gonna front though. The feel that we got in the U.S. Army, I like the morning shit. I like the good people. These right here, the ones that we just took with. The one shit.
You was coming in choppy, but you said that the people they got in the dorm, that they all right so far?
Oh no, the one cleaner. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Nana.
And try to speak clear into the phone so we can understand.
We're talking about lo que teníamos planeado. I'm here.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna start, right, and I wanna try to start from the beginning, and see what you know. All right, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Are you ready?
Let me go to the next room.
Okay.
Yeah, I got this. Hold on. Tiene que, you gotta figure out cómo grabar. You got
So my main priority right now is I wanna have this conversation with you, kind of like an interview, and I wanna make sure that I can hear you nice and clear. You know, because the video, there could be all different types of videos that you could do. They call it post-production. So after, we can work on the after. So, but while I have you on the phone today, I just want to have our conversation. I want to, get what you have to say about it. And I want to make sure that I understand you. And then once I have that, then I can make a little video for people to look onto. And then we could put it up on the YouTube. No problem.
So you want me to call back, or you want me to just?
No. We're talking right now. I already pressed the record. When you settle down, I just want to ask you some questions, and I want to see what you know. I want to ask you these questions.
I'm here now. I'm settled down, yeah.
Okay. So.
Lo que ustedes tienen que hablar, que no le perjudique a nadie en absoluto. ¿Entiendes? O sea,
Your dad. Please mind your business. Mind your business, Dad. Just please mind your business on this one.
And Theo, I'm asking. This is nothing specific. It's well known what's happening in New York. It is no secret, and everything I'm talking about is all public knowledge. Nothing.
Dad, I do not want none of your input. Please, give me a second. Please, Dad. You're Winston. Por favor. I do not want to.
What do you understand what
I don't want you to tell me what I'm saying is things that que me puedan pedir mi calle, que me puedan meter en problemas, que me puedan dañar, papá. Por favor, I don't want you to tell me anything.
Let me say something.
You're trying to protect me. I'm just trying to protect you. You can't protect me from what's going on right here. The people got it. And you know that it's not helping.
Is there something wrong?
No, but Theo, let me tell you something. You're gonna be on the phone, and anything you say, you could be like his lawyer. If you think he's talking too much, or you want to redirect him and bring him.
No, I'm not going to interrupt the conversation because this is not my intention.
I would like you to listen, Dad. That's it. I just want you to listen. And the only things I'm going to say.
No te preocupes. It's not going to be no problems. You're going to hear everything, and if you want to have something to say, you can say it. You can hear everything, okay?
Yeah, pero yo no dije a mi hijo algo malo. Yo dije algo que le pueda perjudicar a él. ¿Entendiste? Eso fue lo que yo dije.
Papi, por favor, papi. Si tú me quieres perjudicar a mí, papi, let's talk about me not catching the manslaughter that I'm doing for the United Please. Thank you. I do not want to input on what you got to say about the situation. I just want you to say it. Tell me whether it's good or bad. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, sure.
That's all I have for you. That's it.
No problem. Thank you. I got you.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the first. So I want to go to the first chapter. So right, so I want to go back and start from the beginning as best as I can. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is the solitary confinement as a tool for punishment and as a repercussion for some of the things that happens in the prison, because that's gonna lead us into our next topic, which is the Halt program. So the Halt program is all about trying to stop the solitary confinement. So I just want to ask you, like, what do you know about the solitary confinement, and what has your experience or people around you? Like, what could you tell me about solitary confinement that was happening in the prisons?
Well, what the prison explains to the public is basically what the governor said to the people, to keep them calm and to keep them without elevating or having any worries about what's really going on. Solitary confinement is the same word as saying special housing. Solitary confinement is the same thing as saying the RRU program. They just switched the name to make it sound better. You're still locked in all day. You usually don't get the tablet to use the phone. You might not get the library tablet. It's all a stressful thing, man. For example, I went to the box February 9th on the situation. They said I did something. I did 4.5 months in the box, man. And there was days where the officer would walk by with a hot tray. My constable is a slot, and after the team closes it, I open the tray and it's wet napkins, man. And they've done that. And they've done that plenty of times. Back to that. There's times that I have fainted in the cell and getting scared. I told my father that I know what I was saying, and I got something that I had. My father called the prison, and they told him, if your father keeps calling the prison, we are going to fuck you up, and we're going to kill you in here. So all of this is just to make it sound good and stuff. You still don't go to rec. They tell you you don't go to programs, they'll give you an extra plate of food just so you don't get a time calculations, which means you get paid taken off the food, which is the box part. It's all, you get treated like shit. You don't get commissary. You don't get anything. You don't get hygiene. You shower 3 times a week. It's bad, man. So bad.
And I hear you, cuz. So now that we have a little understanding of what the solitary confinement was for you, now they came out with something called the Halt Act. Have you ever heard of the Halt Act or the Halt program?
Yeah, I heard about it. But
and what does that mean to you?
pardon me?
And what do you know about the Halt program, or what it was supposed to be? What have you heard about that?
The whole program is really supposed to help us, protect us from that stuff, not putting us in solitary confinement for stupid things. But it's all a lie, just to make it sound good once again, Big Brook. For example, if I get into a fight with somebody, the whole act is supposed to separate me and that other person, put us in separate locations. They will keep us in the same dorm, you know. They will do things that they're not supposed to do. And it's all a gimmick. For example, if I get assaulted by an inmate, which is now an incarcerated individual, because we're not inmates, we are incarcerated individuals. So if another incarcerated individual assaults me and I protect myself, I still get the fighting ticket. I still get the disobeying a direct order, and I still get on loss of property, commissary, and package, and recreation and full time. So it's really nothing wrong. If I can't defend myself, and I do defend myself, I get punished. If I don't defend myself, I still get punished. So there's nothing going on.
I understand.
It's just to make it sound good for the public. Throwing us in the shoe for 14 days. They still throw us in the shoe for more days than what they asked for. The maximum amount of days to be just us humans. We go to the correctional facility and it's showing me in the shoe cell for 36 days on preservation of water, litter, food, communication. It's kind of don't start now. I think they told us the water was feces. It's all lies.
Okay, I hear you. So let me tell you this. So when I look up solitary confinement in New York, it talks about, in summary, it talks about how they isolate the incarcerated individual in a small cell for 23 to 24 hours a day with little to no human contact. And also it could be called, like you said, it could be the SHU, the special housing unit, or segregated confinement, or the box, right? So that's what it was. So this new Halt program, you know, it was supposed to have came out in they put it up in 2021, but it didn't go into effect until March 31st, 2022. And some of the key points to this Halt Act, and this is coming from the organization that is, one of the people in charge of putting out all of this information, and they're called the New York Campaign for Alternatives to Isolated Confinement, the NYCAIC, right? And they're aiming to drastically restrict the use of the solitary confinement. So right here, when I pull it up, it says that they're trying to, they don't want people to be in confinement for 6 months, 4 months, and months, like things that you've done before. They trying to stop that, and they're trying to put time limits. They're trying to say that you can only do 15 days in a row, and you're not allowed to do more than 20 days in a 60-day period. That's one thing. Then they're trying to say people younger than 22 is not allowed in the box. People over 55 not allowed in the box, or any physical, mental, medical disability, because they're extra vulnerable, right? So what can did you see any changes? Because from my understanding, you might have saw the change. Like, do you remember what it was before the Halt program, and did you see anything change when that Halt program was supposed to go into an effect?
One second. If you want me to be honest with you, man,
Of course.
the Nemo correctional officers, they tell you that the whole that that's what they handed on us, man, and it's not working. All they say that it's good. All the things that they say that is good for us and all that, it's not really working out, man. It ain't working out because they still put us in the shoe for more than 15 days. They still will put us in RRU for 5, 6, 9, 12, 365 days. They do these things on the regular, man. They do everything on the regular. This is, even with the body cameras that they put on now, it does not stop the things that have been going on. They're just getting way more smarter on how they're doing it. You gotta understand, big bro, these people have all the freedom in their hands, and all they have to do is check a big box saying that's all stop. For me, example, look at me. I did time in the box for so long stuff I able to do. I came out the box, and guess what I got in the mail? A reversal ticket from Albany saying that I was not guilty of any of those charges. They offered me 30 days. I didn't take it. I kept on with the hearing. And just because I didn't take the 30 days, they smoked me and gave me 4 months. The thing that they do, they use the power and corruption. They use what they know and what they don't know against us. And we can't go to nobody and vouch for us because they're all together. You got these jails that families of traditions is getting passed down. You got people that work here that never even had a mental evaluation to work here. But his father's a lieutenant, so he gets to work here. You got mothers and grandmothers and daughters and brothers all working here. So now it's a family thing. It's now becoming personal. These people use prison as gangs because most of the prisons have family within the system. So how can you do something about it?
I understand, cuz. Okay, so we back on. So we talked about the Halt program. So I was saying that the Halt program, on paper, it sounds really good. It sounds, man, it's way better than keeping these guys, locked up for 24 hours because it's well documented that is it's almost like torture. And as human beings, that's only making people worse. That's not helping nobody. That's not punishing them. That's not wrong word. That's not rehabilitating them. It's not good for them at all, right? So they were supposed to have this Halt program.
They say that they don't. They say things like they don't. The Hulk Act is helping us not be confined and all that. But there's something worse than that. They can say you're under investigation, and we still go to the shoe for 14 days until they figure it out. So now I'm in the shoe because of an investigation. Not because of a hearing, not because of something I did, because they think I did something which I had nothing to do with. But I'm in the shoe for 14 days without nothing, a deprivation of property and food and all these type of things. Because they think I did something because I'm under investigation under what probable cause. They do this every time. This is how they get away. The whole just sounds very good to the public. It has not been applied to the Department of Corrections system and none of the jails. It is all a lie.
Okay, I hear you, cuz. So then let me say this. So I understand you say that, that it's not being affected where you've been at. But in some places that, maybe they put this somewhere, right? But let me tell you what they say about it. So the people that support this, they argue that the Halt program is necessary to protect the human rights and to end the torture that goes on in the prisons. But the people who work at the prisons, they don't like that. They're an opponent to this act, and they're saying that it's taking away the tools that the corrections officers have to control the violent individuals and to maintain the order, right? So that's what they've been saying. And another thing that they've been saying, and it's been all over the news. I just saw another video come out, very recently, and the main headline was it's because ever since the Halt program, they're saying that the reports of the violence inside the prisons is increasing. And they were saying things like the violence on inmate, it went up almost 200%. And the violence against like the inmate towards the corrections officer, it went up to the staff. It went up about 75%. So the people, they thought they were making progress by putting this Halt. But the corrections officers, they hate it. And that's one of the major reasons why, something we're going to talk about in a little bit, the whole strike and everything. They're trying to say that the whole program was horrible and it made things 10 times worse, right? So this is what I want to ask you. I want to ask you, as far as they supposed to have started the whole program in 2022 up until today. Have you noticed, I know inside there, you have witnessed some violence, and you've seen a lot of stuff in there. But do you think that those things are true? That ever since the whole program, it got even worse because they can't keep. There's more restrictions and there's more red tape against how they were acting before. Do you think the violence got worse ever since the whole program?
Hold on. I'm gonna be honest with you. All the whole fact did was get the COs more mad because COs been killing us for years, man. For years. So now they make a law where they got to protect us. So now, for example, there's things like they can do like this. If I get handcuffed and get walked out the dorm, they can say that I was resisting, but I'm with handcuffs and I get a use of force ticket and I go to the box. But how can I be restraining and not complying if I'm already handcuffed on the back of a van, getting beaten up? There's things that these people do not want to be here. These people want to come here and make an example out of us. These people just have killed another incarcerated individual in a facility that I was in the same hospital room. And the same thing that happened to that individual happened to me, but I was just, for God's will, I was alive on that situation. And I got to make it through. Unfortunately, my peer didn't get to make it through that situation, that we have lost his life because of it. I've been in situations where I'll be right, I'll go through all the right things, and I'll still be wrong. And who can I reach out when I need help? They call it beating the gang in blue, man. This whole act is just to make it sound good. These correctional officers don't give a fuck about our lives in there, man.
So,
we have not gotten nothing that we need. I have not received medical attention in months.
So do you think any portion of that may be true though? Because they're saying that ever since that they put this law into effect, that it got, it was already very dangerous for the prisoners, and a lot of the families of the prisoners, they're very worried. And when these reports come out and saying that the inmates, they're getting stabbed and they're getting beat up and almost 200% more, what can you tell me about that? Like, have you seen some people in there acting crazy, and maybe in general they may have taken this person away from you, but do you think that because the Halt, that those guys are being kept around and it's made it much more dangerous for you? Talking about the corrections officers now, we're talking about the people you are around, the inmates. Do you feel that it's been a lot more dangerous to be an inmate and be a victim of another inmate since of this?
It goes both ways, man. I mean, it's a chain reaction. So, for example, if our officer says we can't go out, right, it gives us more time to interact with each other than what we already have. So when you have more time to interact with things that you shouldn't be here in the first place doing, you're going to find yourself in some things. And a lot of the anger gets released on green because we can't win with blue. And if we even try, we lose, even if we're right. So this is all caused because of the Department of Corrections, Community and Supervision. All of this has been caused because of the system has failed us to give us an opportunity to rehabilitate ourselves and get the right programs enough to go out to society. How do you want me to rehabilitate myself when I go through things like this, where getting put on the wall, getting smacked behind my head, strip searching me, punching me in the bag, throwing me in the van in handcuffs, beating on me, spitting on me, giving us tickets for no reason? If you fight the ticket, it's still going to find you guilty even if you're right. So it's not much what we can put our energy into ourselves, because everybody in green is here trying to face one thing and do one thing and to get home. But the only people stopping us is the people in blue and causing conflicts within each other because of what the officers do. And that's not right.
I hear you, cuz. So now I wanna move on to the next thing, right? So we talked about the effects of solitary confinement. We talked about the Halt program. We talked about how they saying, that the Halt program is not working. It's not even being implemented, and how the people who saying it was implemented, they're saying that it's making it even worse and making it even more violent, and that's never what anybody wants. So now I want you to tell me, so something came out, right? And something came out and went viral. It was all over the place. And this was one of the major things that it brought the New York prisons into the news, into the mainstream news. So they talked about how there was somebody named Mr. Brooks on December 10th, 2024. And he left the Mohawk facility and he went over there to the Marcy. And they said they have videos of him on camera being handcuffed. And in the end, they saying that the corrections officers, they murdered him, and as of, I checked the article this morning, and as of right now, there's at least 10 people who have been charged and arrested, and they're waiting for the trial now. So what do you know about that situation?
Let me call you up to this other phone, because this is a very sensitive topic, and I will have to get into depth about what they did to this man. 1 second.
Okay.
The caller has hung up.
I'm here. I apologize, the connection.
Okay, no problem.
Question again?
No problem. So So we spoke about the effects of solitary confinement and how that led up to the Halt program trying to address those issues. And then people said that it became a lot more violent in the prisons. And then on December 10th, the articles came out and the videos came out about the person, Mr. Brooks, who left the Mohawk Correctional Facility and he went over to the Marcy facility. And then on camera, at least 10 corrections officers have been charged in his murder. And I wanted to ask you, what have you heard about the incident that happened at Marcy with this Mr. Brooks?
Mr. Brooks, I have personally been and talked to Mr. Brooks myself. I even seen his peoples and his families in the visiting floor. Mr. Brooks' death was a tragedy, man. It's so sad to say that because an officer didn't like him, so an officer sent a hit out on him, and the inmates did not want to touch nobody because it's always green on green. We respect each other. The real problem here is that we're trying to make it. We're going to make it home one day or another, but we're going to do this together. Mr. Brooks had a situation with one of the officers, and they wanted the people, us, the green people, to show him what's really going on. He wanted us to beat him up, one of us. And of course, none of us is going to do that because we do not respond to police. We don't do that. We do not vouch for these people. We will accept and follow their rules, fine, but we would not take hits for police. We do not do none of that. We are not in that type of society. Mr. Brooks had a problem with one of the officers. That the officers told us to beat him up. And we didn't want to do that. So the officer called his friends to move him out of the dorm. And when they removed him out of the dorm, they beat him up. It was beating him up in the dorm. So a lot of us seen it. Beating him up in the dorm. Took him to the tier office, beat him up some more, put him in a holding cell, beat him up some more. And they took him to Marcy, which is right across the street. And they kept beating him up. Until, unfortunately, our fellow friend couldn't take it anymore, and God had to take his life because he was suffering too much. And he couldn't go through the pain that they was giving him for absolutely no reason. Ain't nobody deserves to die by the hands of these officers. They are here to serve and protect, and instead they are hurting and destroying us and killing us while doing this. These people want to use us as their guards for us. They want to tell us, go beat him up. He talked bad to me. He didn't follow this. A couple of those officers in that video, I know, as in I've seen them in the compound, and a couple of them officers put their hands on me as well in the same facility, in both facilities to be exact. And this is not the first time that they've done this. They do this every day. Every day they do this. Just perhaps that one idiot police officer left his camera on that day. But they didn't care anyways because they do this so often. What do you think this one was going to do? This was just another tally mark in the millions of books that they've done. And now it's coming up to the light. And look at what these police officers and COs and everybody are doing. They are getting sentenced for these things. And what did the correctional police did? 14,000 of them quit and walked out the jails and are on a strike. But let's not forget, when Brooks' family came to strike in front of Marcy, they got arrested, they got harassed, they got moved out of there. But what happens when the correctional officers come outside the jails and they strike? They stay, nobody bothers them, and they live peacefully. How does that make sense? How is that equal to us? How are they equal to us? If at the end of the day we're all human and we make mistakes, I could have been them, they could have been me. Everybody can wear the shoe. But they don't care enough to give a fuck.
And you did mention you did mention what I wanted to hit on next. You know, shortly after that incident, you know, I'm reading an article on northcountrypublicradio.com that covers a lot of stuff, and they have everything up to date. And according to this article right here, it says what you said. It says literally 90%, roughly 1,500. It was at roughly 15,000. 90% ended up leaving and walking off the job against the government, against the state and the governor, against all their bosses. You know, all instead of their commands. You know, they didn't tell them they were allowed to do this, and 90% of every single corrections officer in New York walked off the job, talking about we're the ones in danger here. The inmates are a danger to us, and you know that's crazy. How that's 40 out of 42 prisons are affected by this. So I wanted to tell me about that. Like, did you notice that? How did you find out that all these guards were on strike? Nobody came to get you the next day? Like, how did you figure out about that? How did that happen? Like, what happened to you during that?
The only way I found out was when I seen that one day we was on lockdown, and shortly after, U.S. Army members came in to our facility. You got people in vans in here with guns and bulletproof vests and all suited up and stuff. They come in here with intimidation tactics. They come in here 60, 100 people, 100 U.S. Army people with zip ties, pepper spray, them gloves that have the metal brace on the knuckles and all types of things. And then they enforce things that we had nothing to do. But it's not surprising to me because I heard this song one day. It's called YBA by Meek Mill. It says, white man kill a black man. They never report us. Black man kill a white man. They trying to start war up. It's sad to say. We kill them. Not saying we do none of that, but if we do, we get the illest, the craziest sentences, the most terrible things. Our life is gone. But they killed us, and there's nothing part about it. They killed us. They're wrong. And they leave the jail because now it's time to confront what you did. And now nobody gives a fuck because this has been going on. And nobody has ever cared enough to even check. Nobody has cared. When Albany and all those people come in for audit, they bring them to the nicest house of the dorms, which is one or two, and they never see nothing. They don't come and talk to us what's going on. They don't come fix any problems. When CERT comes to search their jails, they bring other correctional officers to this jail to come search, and they're hands-on. As soon as they come in, they want to beat you up, throw you in the box, destroy all your property, everything that you work for, personal pictures, everything. I had a picture of one of my friends that passed. A police officer came and broke it, and I can never get a picture of her ever again. It's a lot of things that they do in here, man, that is built to hurt us. It's never built to rise us. So how do you expect us to come out back to society with the effort to do right again if we can't even do right in here, even if we try? We're trying. I've been trying to go to college. They told me no because of my disciplinary records that they made up for me. I had nothing to do with those disciplinary records. But they lied, and it sticks because it's their word against mine, and I'm just a number in the state. They're somebody.
So I want to hear a little bit more about what you've seen with the Army guys. You know, it's the New York National Guard. You know, the Army National Guard, Army Reserve National Guard, and the governor deployed just 6,500, around 7,000, and that possibly, who knows, that they brought some more of them in there. But what can you tell me about once those guys came in there? I know you said that they come in 60 to 100 deep, and you know, it's well known. I seen articles today about, you know, they're not trained to deal with prisoners. They don't know what that lifestyle is like or what it comes with. So
They were never trained for correctional supervision in community. They have never been, they never passed the mental health evaluation. They never passed the right or wrong evaluation. They never passed what to do or how to handle things. They don't know anything about this but come and enforce what the other COs is telling them. So it's not working because they're not here for us. They're here for them. And sad to say is that they're fighting with them too. And we're fighting with them too because it's just a sad story. One of the U.S. guards got cut 18 times on his back and they cut him in his neck. They took about 20, 30 people from a dorm and shipped them out of here. They're coming in here destroying our lives, giving us tickets that will stick, giving us new charges for things that we've never done.
wow.
It's sad. It's sad.
And that's something to point out as well. That I done some research in the National Guard, and they use them for everything, man. When COVID happened, they put them in medical homes. They put them in nursing home with the nurses. Like, they use these guys as just a manpower. You know, these people the Army didn't train them for nothing for half the stuff that they've really been doing. These guys are doing all types of stuff. So it really is a fact that they are not trained, and they're really, you know, when they come in there, how could we say that their mission was successful when they never been trained to do it? How could we be mad at them?
They are not coming here to talk, my friend.
Yeah.
They are coming here to smash anything and anyone not listening. And even if you are, they're just coming to show that we're here and we're always strong. How they say we're U.S. strong. But what about us? Are we nobody? Do we not have a right? For example, me, I have mental health illness. I have not speaking or have getting my meds since this whole thing started. I've been going through a lot of depression, downfalls, a lot of thoughts in my head that I cannot handle on my own. And I'm trying and I'm thugging it out. But I need help. And I can't get it. So what? What can I do for myself to help me? Nothing. And it's killing me day by day. Day by day, this is killing me.
And we hear you, cuz, you know, and as your family, you know, we never want to hear that. We never want to hear that because there's enough issues in the world, and, you know, things have definitely got turned up, you know. And we definitely don't like that. And the situation that was going on before is not sustainable. And it's well known that the situation right now is not sustainable. They can't keep no 8,000 Army guys in the prisons. That's not working. You know, you already telling me that things have been happening with them as well. You know, that they ended up, you know, in a bad place. You know, just like how you're ending up in a bad place.
They're getting hurt. We're getting killed. How do we win? How do we resolve this problem? How can we move on forward to this if this has always been a problem? And nobody has ever cared to stop
And that's
it.
something I want to tell you because, like you said, when the Army came in, even a lot of those guys, they went out to the media, and I found articles talking about one article. You know what it said? It said that the Army soldiers, they said that the conditions inside the New York prisons are worse than the conditions that they saw in Afghanistan, you know, where there was a full-out war for over 20 years. You know, so it means a lot when they say, wow, in New York...
We're eating food that's been expired for months. And we have no option but to eat because there's no packages, no commissary, no recreation. And look, and everybody that has gotten a ticket and they've taken all them things is on hold until further notice. I am one of those people that they gave me a ticket and now I am on loss until God knows when. And I still, even if I wasn't on loss, I can't go get things. So how do you want us to survive with these food? I get sick every day. You got milk for fucking 3 months ago that they're giving us. There's no food. There's nothing in here. They're not giving us toilet paper, toothbrushes. They're not giving us nothing. Whatever you guys is listening out there in the world is all a lie. Take it from me. I'm in here on a jail phone call trying to explain my side of you. Hopefully, one person can make this difference. And hopefully, I don't care if it's not even me or if it is me. I just need the world to know that incarcerated individuals is at loss. We're all afraid for our lives because they kill each and every one of us one by one. And if we stand against them, we don't win. But if we don't fight, we don't win. But if we sit, we die. So how can we be hopeful to come home to our families if we have no chance of seeing tomorrow?
And you know, one thing that comes to mind when I hear about this situation is like, you know, the army, the way that the army guy, that article I was referencing before, the way that they went about it, it was like, man, this guy went up in there and he was not ready for what he saw. He was really surprised of the sanitation in there, the food they're eating in there, like the way that the whole compound is run. He was really surprised because he had no idea that it was this bad and this many people was living this way, and how, you know, all of a sudden at a snap of fingers, they find themselves in the prison and they find themselves in this situation like, yo, how am I supposed to clean this up? You can't clean that. You need a new one, you know? And I wonder, you know, I can't, you know, because I don't have enough information to say, like, what it seems so blatant, you know? It seems so blatant that these things they have to, I guess the news would say they're underfunded and, you know, neglected, but but the broad spectrum of it seems like it was in a lot of the prisons, that that things were super, super ugly in there and horrible, that the army didn't even want to take a shower in there, and then these guys are living in there, you know, and the army people would take showers in a lot of places, you know.
Bad, but guess what? But every year they still get to pass the inspections. They still sign off the jail as being okay and being standable and livable, being perfect for accommodations. And they still get the funds from the state to give us, and they give us nothing. So is it now, who is running this? Who is the one sending the letters under the table approving all this when it's not right? When it's everything that they're saying on that paper, that everything is good in here, is wrong. They're lying. So who is in charge?
That's a fact, cause let's say they passed that thing about 2-3 months ago. Man, how can it get this bad in this short of a time? The picture I saw, that the bathroom and the shower and everything that these guys were supposed to be using, there was no way that something can, I don't know what inspection.
We got mold in the showers and in the laundries, in the laundry machines, and in the walls and stuff. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to care. Nobody's going to do something about it because nobody cares. Once again, we're fighting with something that does not care about us. We're just a number in a building. And the whole world might just forget that you got people in here that are innocent. You got people in here that just made a mistake. You got people here that just fucked up. But it's so sad to say that the system will give somebody defending their life 10, 15 years, and will give somebody that just raped and sexually assaulted some kids 2-3 years. It's sad to say that they rather think that pedophiles and sex offenders and all that get more time than somebody protecting their life because they was going to get killed. It's sad to say the system is fucked up and is meant for us to lose. And we're going to keep on losing because nobody cares enough to make a change. This is all the beneficial money for the world because we don't get rich out of this. CEOs get paid, they get their benefits. Who's above? The warden gets paid for having this jail being running. And who gets their percentage for putting the people that have nothing to do and just trying to change their life? And the judges put us in here not knowing that we're We're not rehabilitating ourselves. They're just destroying us and making something more evil. Sad to say. How can we make a change if there was never a change for us?
That's a fact. There has to be a change. There has to be a change, and it got to be coming real soon.
There won't be an accommodation for us because us incarcerated individuals don't have a voice and never will have a voice.
And that's crazy. But hold on, cause I'm trying to bring it to my next portion. So my next portion. So as of today, you know, all in the news they talked about how they reached a possible, like, so all the corrections officers they went on strike. Like, they walked off the job, they went on strike. Their unions had to go on strike because it was too big. And you know, they're reaching out an agreement, but you know, obviously no one's going to be totally happy, but it's very clear that a lot of them are still, one article says that if they were to accept this deal to end that strike today, that it will be a slap in every officer's face. So the changes that have to happen, they have to be very big, because it's very clear that the people who are supposed to work and be employees of these facilities, 90% of them are refusing to work unless you do all these changes. So there's many changes that are listed here. You know, they talk about force that one person that he would always have to tell his family he can't come home because he's forced to work overtime and they never have a life, and you know, they're always in danger, things like this. So they have some serious discussions to do, and they got to change so much, because not only are they affected by what's going on and you know what those deals are saying, but it's also the inmates. Like you said, you know, the inmates, they're considered a vulnerable population because they did lose some rights when they got convicted of a crime. So it's up to other people. It's up to the organizations that are leading these facilities and the you know, from coming from the state. You know, they get a lot of government money. This is taxpayers' money, people who are electing to be who's supposed to be in charge of these individuals, and you know, they have to do what they have to do. But a lot of these things that are coming out, that's not what is being agreed to, and that's not what is being told to the public how these places are supposed to be run. And too much is coming out about how crazy it gets in there and how dangerous it is in there, and you know, it's not sustainable. There's no excuse that's gonna cover it all. There's no excuse. There's no reason to ever amount to what the reality is, from how different it is from what is supposed to be going on paper, and how nobody can even get in there to check it out. And if they do get in there, it's like you know, it's all propaganda. It's all set up. They go to one unit and they see how clean it is and they leave or something. Because why is so much why is there still discussion left on it?
They're all in cahoots, man. They're all in cahoots. They pay the jail. Well, not the jail. They pay whoever they pay to hold us in here approximately $300 day and night for us every day for housing us. They give us in food about, give or take, $4. The food is unbearable. Can't even eat it. Disgusting. Nasty. You'll find hairs, rats, all types of things in it. They won't give us clothes. The clothes that we get when we come upstate is probably the same clothes we still have to this day. They tell us you can get your clothes changed every 6 months. I have the same clothes as I came up to the state. I have the same drawers since I came up to the state. The only thing that changes is the sheets and the white sheet and the pillow that they give me in every facility I go to. This is all a beneficial welfare for them, man. Us incarcerated individual is a gold mine for the people in high power, and the people in high power is the same people that don't care of them killing us, because it's all a money organization. It's all beneficial to them. Once again, how can we win? If we hurt someone, we pay for our consequences. When they hurt someone, they quit and go on strike. How are we equal?
Yeah, you know, in the end, we want everybody to be safe. We don't want nobody in any of those places to be in danger. So, you
And
know,
we're
so
going in
much is
danger
wrong.
every day.
So much things have to get changed because it's unacceptable for everybody. You know, you are very upset, and a lot of these other inmates, they're very upset, and a lot of these officers are upset, and a lot of their family members are coming out, and they're saying everybody has their own perception. Everybody plays their role, but everybody is very unhappy. So we have to redo this thing. We have to redo it, and we have to figure out. You gotta get better. You gotta get better all the time. And right now, things gotta get better from this.
Yeah, but and I'm in a medium facility right now. I'm in a medium correctional facility. Imagine all those guys in a max. I haven't left the dorm. They haven't left a 6x6 bathroom in months. In a month, they have not left a cell in a month. Imagine your bathroom, 6 feet wide, 6 feet long, about 10 feet tall, give or take. Toilet in there, bed, sink. What do you think they're going through? They have not left a cell since all of this started. And then you're telling me that they're stopping solitary confinement? What is that called, what they're doing? That's a 24/30 right there, 24 hours a day, 30 days straight. How do you think those people are feeling? But we keep forgetting that they stopping solitary confinement and the Halt Act and all that. But what about those people in the cell that have not gotten their gate popped open? Not even for a shower yet. Taking bird baths every day, running out of hygiene, no commissary, no visiting, no rec, no phones, no... What do you think they're going through? And I got it just a little bit better than they do. And how do you think, and this is how I feel? Imagine what the brothers is feeling in maximum correctional facilities, Attica, all the other Green Haven, Sing Sing, 5 Points. So much more out there, man. And then we still think you guys are helping us, protect us, and then you guys want us to come home and be a new man and grow. A lot of us can't hold what's going on here. A lot of us is just barely making it. A lot of people are, unfortunately, a lot of people are suicidal. A lot of people are not mentally strong than others. A lot of people have mental illnesses. Medication, they need needs. They have health issues. Teeth hurts, headaches, people with heart. My friend had a seizure the other day because he has not gotten his seizure meds in a month. He almost died here. But yet, we're wrong. And the CEOs want them to follow the rules that they want to come back in here. And we're going to bargain with the people that left, that killed us. But they're right at the end of the day, even though they murdered this man.
You have 1 minute left.
That's my time, man. So much more I can keep going with this, but it's like just trying to get the world an inside view of the inmate frustration that we got going on in here.
I can see how it's incredibly frustrating and incredibly provoking from many different angles, you know. And all I can hope is you find a way to cope with all this stuff.
That's about it, man, because the phones is registered even because police, they have everything on lockdown, man, so.
You can call back?
I cannot, no.
But all right, because I really appreciate your insight. Really appreciate your insight and your perception.
Of course, man. This is just want to show the world out there what it really is, without the hidden figures. Straight raw video, man.
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.